Yeah, thanks very
Has
much, Aveen and Benjamin, for this overview and also the insights with the Menti questions onto some of these issues. And thanks everybody for the responses as well. Yeah, we take questions to Aveen and or Benjamin or comments. Maybe you want to share also your own experiences from other communities of practice that you have experienced and that you would like to share. While everybody is sorting their thoughts, maybe I'll just take the privilege of the floor and ask the first question. You know, I really liked your last question, Aveen, on this Menti. What are the constraints? And one thing that I answered is the moderation is key. And especially with the D groups, I think that is so important that the discussions are put forward, that there is an introduction, and that then the responses are moderated also, and also summarized. I think this is a lot of work. And I have been involved in these in the past, and I found that it was the good ones really benefited from the enthusiasm of the moderators who really took time out of their normal work day in order to screen the responses and to summarize them. And the best ones that I saw were those that had actually daily or at last weekly summaries, depending on how long they were meant to run, right? If they were running for several weeks, they needed a weekly summary. If it was just for 3-4 days, there was a summary every day, followed by a question saying, we have discussed this up to now, you know, now is the next step, you know, now we would like to go further. And I think these kinds of discussions, to me at least, they were the most beneficial. If you just ask people, you know, share your views, you also can get quite a lot of information in there, but it's not curated. And then I think the benefit for everybody is limited. So this may be just some observation that I would like to share with everybody.
And that is really very important, and it's good that our colleagues who will be handling the next the D group discussion sessions. Some of them are here. They had done similar engagement in the past through the care for ACD. So I know Kizito is here. I know Melika is here. I think I saw Narcis earlier or Wilfred. So if any of them also have an experience to share, I think it will help. But they are preparing to take us through the next phase of the discussion, starting somewhere later next week or so.
That's cool. Yeah, good, very good. You know, I've also seen some of the those that are involved in the knowledge cafes. Maybe any of you want to report already on your experiences up to now, because there have been several sessions already. Is there anything that you found particularly, well, both, you know, particularly valuable, and also maybe some aspects where you felt that was not so valuable? Is there anything that you would like to share? I can see Melika, Wilfried, Kisito.
Kisito hand is up. So.
Please.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for this wonderful Interfaces colloquium. Thank you, Aveen and Benjamin, for let's say introducing the knowledge management for agricultural developments, and also for introducing us. I will not take too much time because I'm also in the physical meeting here. I just found the time to quickly come and leave. I will just want to say that we will, as Benjamin said, have the opportunity to be to share our experience deeper and to answer any specific question or comments. But so far, what I want to say in terms of what have been particular during this this journey is to to learn or to acquire skills in how to make knowledge, let's say, accessible to people, but also how to share this knowledge according to your the stakeholder you have in front of you, to be sure that you have transmitted your knowledge and this knowledge can be impactful for the stakeholder. So just a quick one, and looking forward to have you on board during our next knowledge cafe. Thank you.
Thank you a lot, Kisito, for sharing these insights and also pointing out how useful the sessions are. Benjamin, that must go down with you very well, how useful these sessions also are for the participants to learn how to make the knowledge accessible. I really like that, Kisito, that you use that word, making knowledge accessible. It's of no use if it's just within you somewhere, but it needs to be accessible to those who listen or who participate. And that's cool. Any other experiences? Yes, Melika, please.
Yes, good afternoon. Can you hear me? Good afternoon.
Your microphone is very low. We cannot really hear you very well.
Now, is it okay now or not still?
It's better. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. So good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Benjamin and Ayun, for this great presentation. And what I would like to say about when you spoke about what was valuable when you were doing all those knowledge cafe and during all those process of knowledge creation, is that there were really a diversity of field of expertise, I would say, like people coming from different field of expertise. So it was really great to have like the different experience and the different knowledge about a specific topic. But another challenge that we faced is also that it was sometimes the discussion were really broad. For example, when you were asking some of the questions, the discussion were really broad because people did not really know a lot about the topic that or the question that you were asking to them. So this is what I can say about what you asked. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The time is always very short, and if you have to start to introduce your topic to people who are not specifically involved in it, then of course you spend a lot of time, or you may explain something that you have already explained somewhere else. Yeah, please, Benjamin.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so I think this is where the importance of the moderation comes in. As already mentioned by Hannah, and there are times that people just need a little bit of the of a summary from somebody's idea for them to notice that, oh, not knowing I also have very good information to share about the topic. And that is where the D group discussion comes in, where you are not constrained to a day, an hour or two, but you have a whole, maybe 1 week or 2 weeks to listen to what people are saying and also bring your perspective. And for me, that makes it very, very interesting. Now, an example also is when you, especially when we are developing major projects. Like recently, we use a D group to provide content from Africa to the FAO on their next 10-year strategy. There were moments that people give you perspectives that you would not have thought about, maybe because you think it's just about AR4D. You do not see how civil society ideas plays into it. But when you engage, you will see that people will give you new ideas that connects to your technical area, which you wouldn't have thought about. And that is where I find the interfaces even project very important. This interdisciplinary idea of getting everybody to contribute to the achievement of a thematic area. So we really look forward to ensuring that your contribution reflects the end product that we are producing. Thank you.
Yeah, maybe Benjamin, it would be a good idea if you could send the link to the D groups into the chat. for those of you who are not yet part of the D groups, that you could then easily just click the button. Because I think we have, I cannot oversee whom of this group here is already inside the D groups and who is not. But I suspect that there's still a good number that could become future members. And of course, a community of practice, any community of practice lives of interaction. So please, further comments from your side, contributions from your side on your experiences with communities of practice, your wishes for the Interfaces community of practice. We have Benjamin and Aveen taking note of all the suggestions that come in. If there are no further, then I can continue.
Well, then I might throw a question in as well, because during the Trubentag workshop, I had a very nice exchange with Friederika and Karina, and Antonia is in this chat because Minodu makes a lot of use of community knowledge. And you also within the project use a sort of community of practice as well. I don't want to throw you under the bus, but maybe you can also share how that experience has been for you, Antonia.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Antonia.
Hello.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Aveen. So I'm a bit overwhelmed. I don't know where to focus on. I think, yeah, so what I thought by doing your Mentimeter as well is that we are also, I think there are some of the difficulties you were describing are things that we are facing as well. So, for example, that you need like a moderator or someone that is like somehow clustering the knowledge or the information and which kind of tools to use and everything. The thing that we are using is Notion, and I think it's quite, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's quite similar to D groups and things like this. So yeah, also the idea to have like a common platform where, yeah, like a online platform where in our example, the students and us have access to. And yeah, and what we try to maybe do differently is, I think Karina talked about it 2 weeks ago as well, to do also like audio formats or video, yeah, as I said, audios or videos. So to be more inclusive also for people that aren't able to read or write, and to do it also in local languages. So I think, yeah, for us, it's always the question how to, as it's like a basic question of our project, how to make knowledge accessible for farmers. There, I think it's really important to think about the language that you use to share knowledge or to yeah, and the format. So also think about audio formats or videos, and there for sure videos need more data, so that's why we ended up with audio formats, but we also had nice experiences with videos. So when it's possible, I think videos are nicer, but yeah, audios are also a good idea. yeah, but for sure it's always the question which platforms or how to then share the audio files, for example, with the how you can say, like with the farmers. And there our idea is to use local community networks. So networks that aren't or where you don't have to have internet access, but it's enough to have access to the local community network. Yeah, which can be accessed, and it depends on the network or on the Raspberry Pi and everything, but in a certain surrounding you can have access to it. So I think that's also a good idea when we talk about rural areas where the access to internet is not always given. Yeah, so these are some thoughts from me or our project on how to exchange knowledge. Or I'm not sure if it was in this direction that you thought of, or the exchanges with Rike and Karina at the Tropentag were in this direction.
Yeah, absolutely. Using Notion as a workspace at Interfaces, we also have a workspace on Slack. But sometimes this is all very decentralized, and then D groups actually does provide this platform where we can have sub-communities and we each can have our own workspace, but then it stays in a more centralized fashion on D groups. So that's what I see as the advantage of D groups, being able to have this combination of a workspace, but also being able to quickly share within a larger community. And I also found it a very interesting point of this last mile of knowledge. We all have access to internet most of the time, and we can upload and comment and engage in discussions. But how does the information and knowledge then actually get to the last mile of the farmers? And the example that Karina presented during Tropentag on the local community network is a really nice example of this, of having curated information for a specific community in a specific ecological area, and having that information made available to them. That really bridges the last mile, and is a really nice way of thinking in different types of network as well. So yeah, sorry to have called you out there, Antonia, but
no, don't worry.
Very, very nice for you to share that. Yeah.
Maybe one thought that came to my mind, because I read it as well on the Mentimeter, was WhatsApp as a tool. And I think that's also because you said now that D groups allows to have a centralized platform or centralized thing. And this is also a challenge or difficulty I think we are meeting, or we are facing in our project, that we have there. I think it doesn't matter if we talk about D groups or Notion, but you have like a platform or an application. But for when we are working with like farmers or even our students in the north of Togo, for them it's quite difficult to work with these kind of tools. So for them it's often WhatsApp, and then we have like the information like spread all over the place. Some documents are on WhatsApp because for them the communication platform that is the easiest to access is WhatsApp, and then you have to, as I said, there it's always important to have someone that is somehow curating all this kind of information. So I think it's difficult to find like one tool that fits to all the different kind of environments.
On that, I would also, if Benjamin, if you can unshare, then I would like to share my screen again, because also on the notion of well, not on the notion of the Notion, but like on the thought of WhatsApp being used as a predominant means of discussing. Now I've shared the wrong screen. Now I can't get out of my PowerPoint.
That's okay. Maybe
Can't I get out?
once you sort it out, maybe just to mention that for us at FARA,
Yeah.
in terms of, we have formal and informal platforms for managing communities. And we do not classify WhatsApp as a platform for formal engagements, but we use it all right for maybe certain discussions. But when we want to, because you need to retain the knowledge in a manner that somebody else should be able to also access it and learn from it, we try to limit ourselves to platforms that can give us that. And that's why we group for us, we've been using it for 15 years now. And whatever we discussed 15 years ago, I can go onto the platform and pick it and then make some sense out of it as well. But WhatsApp is very good, just that it's complementary. Thank you.
Okay, Evin, if you can share your document. We also need to close soon. We have already some people that had to go.
Yep. Just to address the use of WhatsApp, anytime we have an event or a new blog, for example, we have social media cards that we design that is then there. They can be downloaded onto a phone and then easily shared on a phone with the QR code for the specific blog. So you can also share on WhatsApp and then have access when you have internet or when you have the opportunity to read. So that is something that we heard quite early on that we wanted to address and make our information available and accessible via groups like WhatsApp as well.
Okay, thank you very much. I think our time is up now. And I would like to thank both Benjamin and Evin very much for introducing or reiterating the importance of communities of practice, and especially the FARA-led D groups discussions, interfaces discussion group on sustainable land management. Thanks for those who participated actively. Thank you for those who were there and listened in, and I hope took something away with you. And I would also like to encourage everybody who is not yet on the D groups to join. Benjamin shared the link in the chat. And also be active in the discussions, and maybe also propose some topics. I think that is also always very well taken if some people suggest certain topics that they would like to host and start a discussion with others. That could also be useful input, for example, for some of the PhD students who want to just touch base with some others. So don't be afraid, be proactive and get in touch with either Evin or Benjamin on any of the topics that you would like to discuss. With that, thank you very, very much for being here. Thanks for such an interesting topic today. We were almost 40 participants. So I think you really got a very large numbers of takers and everybody was very interested. Thank you so much.